Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Okay, I lied then. We have time for one more quick question.
Great.
Hi, my name is Raquel. I will be caring for a young man who is nonverbal with autism. I'm not very knowledgeable in that area. I have worked with high-functioning autism. Is there a big difference between the two?
Yes, there's a huge difference, and there's a huge difference.
Epically.
Yeah, I mean, often I say they shouldn't even be in the same spectrum, and they are, unfortunately, but. So nonverbal, so when you look at the spectrum and you have like and I don't really like referring to it as high functioning or whatever, but it's the people who are the least affected by autism, let's put it that way. You're focused on very different lessons. You're working on things like social behavior and overcoming anxiety and how to function in college, let's say, or just very different stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at the people who are the most affected by autism, you still would divide that group into the verbal and nonverbal because you have completely different interventions. Those who are verbal, a lot of the instruction in ABA is verbal. Those who are nonverbal, we are spending the first several months trying to figure out what's the best mode of communication. Is it visual? Is it a verbal instruction? Should we be teaching the individual keyboarding? How are we going to communicate? So with nonverbal individuals, you really should go back, and again, today is the IBT day.
Yeah.
You should go back to IBT because there's a lot of tons of modules on how to turn a program into something appropriate for nonverbal individual. Think about it. When you're nonverbal, there's also a possibility or very high likelihood that you're also not understanding verbal instruction. So it becomes really important that both the instruction and the response can be done in a nonverbal manner. That's why all of our lessons in skills, there's a nonverbal version of it listed as well.
And the only thing that I would add to that, because I am trying to learn how to better communicate, I am the idiot that will stick a microphone in a nonverbal person's face and ask them a question, and then the parents will say to me they're nonverbal, and it's like I don't hear it, and I ask the question like twice as fast, like that's going to accomplish something. But the one thing that I can hear my good friend Nancy Alspaugh Jackson saying is we always presume intelligence. That there are individuals who
Absolutely.
are nonverbal who have a comorbidity, that maybe have an intellectual disability, that's possible, but it's equally and probably more possible that they do not.
Absolutely.
And so we cannot assume that if someone is not making vocal speech that they have nothing to say.
Absolutely.
Or nothing really
100%.
of value to say, because often that is completely the opposite.
I so agree with you on that. Some of my kids who are absolutely brilliant are nonverbal, and then they start to communicate like beyond belief when we visually give them, let's say, a letterboard. Like some of the stuff that you see with our kids that really makes you understand that this is more of a sensory issue, not an ability issue. It's not about being able to, if you can't verbalize, there's nothing there. There's a ton there, and sometimes our kids just can't produce the speech. But when they come to pointing at letters or putting their finger through a letterboard, they go rapidly into very advanced sentence sequences. So yes, please don't assume that.
Just this weekend, I was at a birthday party, and there was a young man that was there that I've known forever that is largely nonverbal, and he's just the light of so many people's lives. And but communicating, I always want to know what's going on in his head. And his dad was sitting there, and he was like, "Oh, have you read his texts?" And I was like, "He texts?"
Yeah.
And Dad shows me these epic novels that he texts to Dad and to Mom, and I just, my mind was blown.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely blown. So you know, we always want to find functional communication for everybody. So
That's right.
read up on that, look at our shows about that, and that will help you to deal with this young man, I think. Okay, we're out of time.
Thank you.
With Dr. Grandpichet. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes because we have stuff to talk about because we have big show tomorrow. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
And we're going to see if we can't have you a couple more times before the end of the year. We're,
Of
we're
course,
hoping and
next
fingers
week,
crossed. But thank you so much. We're going to go to break. Don't go away because I can't wait to tell you who's going to be here tomorrow. Stick with us. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.